Oh, so much pressure. I'm not usually the one who starts the episodes. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Dice Rolls Can Kill Charisma Check. This is our... Well, we're still kind of deciding when and what it is, but this is our kind of like our talk back, our little chance for you guys to kind of pick the brains of the players and get to know the players a little bit better behind the podcasts, or potentially maybe soon to be podcasts, plural, here at Dice Rolls Can Kill. You all know me. My name is Dakota. I play Mayri on the Starlight Chronicle. I can be found on social media at Western Dakota, and I can also be found on Dice Escape's Garden of Adam as Ruthie. I'm now going to pass it along to our other wonderful cast members, starting with whoever is on top of me in our Discord call. That sounded wrong.
My name is Em. I play Atlas Solomon on the podcast Dice Rolls Can Kill. You can find me on Instagram at mb.ghost.13. It's pretty straightforward. That's all I really got. So yeah, just here to chit chat.
Who's next?
If we're going to the right, that would be me because I'm in the center here. If we're just okay. I'm Ryan. I play Daja. The Dragonborn barbarian that just hits things. I am one half of the editing team, and I'm also the person recording the stuff. So if the things are unbalanced, it's probably my bad. And the person down below me is chaotic.
This is true. I'm pretty chaotic. Hi, guys. My name is Matt. It's nice to meet you all. Kind of. It's nice for you to meet me and not Noblin, but Noblin is who I play. Noblin Nottingham, the gnome rogue rock elf, He is a little hoot. You guys can find me at its.matt with 5 T's on Instagram. And I don't want you to have any of the other stuff yet. So, let you know.
So bad.
All right. Hey. Hi. I'm Anna. I play Neve, our little druid bear. And you can find me on Instagram at Anna Santost. I don't know exactly what my TikTok is. It's like Santost or Strudel, something along those lines. So take a guess, take a gander. And I am the other half of the editing team.
It's sort of plot track.
Yeah. And this dude.
Hi, my name is Derek Santiago. I do have Instagram, but you have to find me.
Good luck.
I play Averon.
It's a scavenger search.
And then once you find it, he's gonna kill you.
Oh my god, now we've threatened the audience. We're so back.
Because now you know too much. You know too much, man. You can't know that much.
Goober Ranger Averon, and then I am the self-proclaimed art director, so if it looks like shit, that's my fault.
Should I have said that I'm the social media manager? I should have said that. I
feel like I should have been like the other half of the and I'm back to M. I'm the other half of the social media stuff. Whoopsie.
We're good at this.
This is so great.
I've never met a better group.
Hello, my name's Shane. I play Liam, the halfling sorcerer. I don't know what's going on half the time. Hi, people.
It's okay, Shane.
I do absolutely nothing but play the game, by the way.
This is not true.
Shane, you're a great consultant.
Yeah.
By technicality, we are all producers.
Yeah, technically.
Yes.
Before we get started on whatever the this is, I'm gonna do a really kind of quick, semi-detailed, based on my notes, recap of Dice Rolls Can Kill, the Starlight Chronicle Season 2. Because this will be coming out potentially. If it does, yay! If this stays in the darkness of our Google Drives folder for the rest of our lives, that's cool too. But anyway, so I'm gonna do a quick recap for those of us, because it's been a hot minute since we first recorded season 2. I think I said this in an episode once, but we record episodes kind of in advance. So season 2 for us started on May 8th, which is insane to say because we're well into September. But basically, we decided to move into the crypt further after being dejected from the whole fight with the Zenitrim and discovering that Neve had some connections with this tiny little splinter group of the Zenitrim. At this point, Noblin and Avron have a chat and their friendship blossoms. Mayri, I guess, is a party pooper, which sounds pretty on brand. Dodge and Atlas take the first watch and they talk about Atlas's decision to stay behind. So for those of you who don't remember, way back at the season 1, the prologue season, Atlas decided to stay behind at the lip of the crater, and because of that got captured by the Zenitrim, by Yennevar and his gang. But while Dodja and Atlas take their watch, Averon, I'm going to go into detail here. Averon dreams of a void and a wrong feeling grows in his chest. It turns into a sea of blood and bones where he's standing. There sits a single... I don't know what that says. A single red throne, excuse me. And a voice that comes ever since you reawoke. Averon begins to speak with this person who I guess knows him really well. Then apparently at some point, I guess this man is the one sitting on the throne, or Averon sits on the throne. Derek, you can correct me if I'm wrong there. Then I guess Averon stabs himself in this dream. He then holds his own heart in his hands. This individual that I before referenced said, "You are not ready to become the vessel." And then when Averon wakes, black ichor appears on his fingers before it disappears. Atlas and Dodja do notice Averon having this really bizarre dream. Speaking of Atlas and Dodja, not Dodja. Dodja apparently stays awake for the entire time that they are in this crypt. He does not sleep, and he does gain a point of exhaustion. While the rest of them sleep and Dodja is distracted, I'm not entirely sure how Atlas does this. Atlas is able to sneak away from the party to kind of figure out his next plans. Then, as we travel, Mayri attempts to open up a bit, but it's apparently like pulling teeth. She's just like, don't make me do this. From there, Atlas gets attacked by orcs as he is wandering on his own. The party is able to discover this. Mayri falls down a bunch in this fight and swears a lot and temper tantrum. At this point, when Atlas is freed from the orcs, Mayri has yet another temper tantrum. And in this moment, Dodja reveals that he has children. We also learn from Noblin that Noblin went to jail. We learned this from Noblin in this moment too, and Mayri does say something along the lines of that she's also been in a prison of sorts. I think one of my favorite moments from this is that Noblin says that they all have become kind of a party purely because they all have things in their past that are following them, or something along those lines, which I really like. We make it back to Tribor, and we hear sounds of a distant argument. The people of Tribor are protesting and trying to get into this keep. There, Darathra is kind of holding them back, and we as a party and Darathra are able to kind of disperse them, make them go back to their homes, and we agree that after this we are going to go and speak with the wizard, but not before Neve informs us that she is aware of where Yennevar is in an outpost north of Tribor, kind of in the Griffin's Nest area, and it's about 100-mile journey northeast of our current. We then decide where to go from there, and we decide that maybe what we'll do for a moment is we will go and drink, because that's a good idea. 4 hours drinking, everyone but Mary and Dodja get really drunk, and we decide to come up with party names, including Noblin and the Tall Ones, I think is one of them. Delang, which is my personal favorite. I think that's kind of it, or like 5 talls, 2 shorties, or something like
Oh yeah, 5 biggies, 2 smalls.
that.
Oh my
Yes, thank you.
I forgot about that
Um,
one.
That's my
And
favorite
so-
right there. I think we should go with
forgot
that one.
about that one.
From there, Daja and Mary escort the drunk party members back to an inn. Daja sleeps outside in the hallway in the inn, but he does sleep. But he sleeps in the hallway. Mary decides to kind of go into the lounge area, and she has visions, which essentially show her the party killing and murdering one another in awful, brutal ways, only for it to end with spiders seemingly crawling all over her, which indicates to her, and those of you who may not be familiar, that it was a vision from Lolth the Spider Queen. She then decides to go into her room, and the next morning Liam goes to check on her, and she lies to Liam about what she was doing in the room. At this point, we got some cool stuff like the Cloak of Elvenkind, 2 invisibility potions, which later on get drank, and the thing that hides our tracks that I totally remember the name of. From there, we
The
go and we
stick?
check out
As
The
for-
stick
No!
that
It was the branch.
not that.
It was
It's
something
not that.
else.
I'm getting to that. It's like the tracks of
Pass
somethingness.
without a trace.
No, that's a spell.
Dust of tracelessness.
Dust-
Yes, that's it.
Ah.
Forgot about that.
From there, we meet meet the Lord Protector Darathra, and we go to the manor that holds the sorcerer. We believe, actually, at this point, we discover that he's a human man wizard. Although I wrote human wizard man, so that's fun. We don't hear anybody, so Daja kills the very first door of the campaign. I also, in this episode, I believe at this point, this is episode 4 of the season, I get my first good boy point. Darathra informs Mary that she hasn't seen the wizard before the incident, meaning the one that brought us all together. So they decide to investigate the house further, and there they find a piece of paper that say, "The stars lie, we are all doomed," only for them to be attacked by gargoyles. And in this moment, in this fight, a lot of interesting things happen, like that weird little alien dude from another dimension comes out. We discover
Insert
the
clip.
GFL. Yeah, insert the
Oh,
clip
yeah.
here.
All right, Avalon, what you gonna do?
Liam, you have 7 seconds to explain what the fuck that shit is before I freak out.
It's
I'm
a creature
gonna-
from the plane of order. I have no idea how it got here.
English, please.
What's English?
Common,
Goblin's gonna yell out
please.
from the other side of the room. It's an alien. Kill it.
We discover the GFL and Mary, the gnome football league, and Mary almost gets hit in the head with a book, but instead it goes out the window. Neve goes down. Daja almost goes down. I think Averon fails to do a bunch of really cool flips. Mary also looks into a telescope in broad daylight because anyway. So after that battle ends, Mary and Averon go out and they find the book that belonged to the wizard, we believe. I think Liam discovers it to be a wizard's tome. But they go out and they find that book in what Noblin would describe as the perfect place for a gnome Walmart. While they go and get that, Mary asks Averon why in the fight against the Xenotrim in the cave and in the tomb, why he did not fight. And you know, they have a conversation about wanting to step away and when to fight. From there, we decide that it might be a good idea kind of take a look over the book. Liam finds written in it, there's a lot of giant, and it talks about how the stars do not stay in the sky and some are living entities. Quote, "The theory of the living gate, Liam knows about it well. It is the central of the astral sea, a portal to the multiverse, a theorized place. He, the chained god, rose from the living gate." From there, we decide what our game plan is going to be in regards to traveling. Some of us go back to the inn to rest. Others decide to go to the mercantile to get supplies. And while they're at the mercantile, Noblin cons the storekeep out of a couple of health potions, claiming that he is a food tester of sorts, and claims to call.
I'm a brand ambassador. That's also my job in
Brand
real life.
ambassador.
Oh my god.
Right. Discuss how many horses we're gonna need for how long, and then Noblin accuses the horse storekeeper guy of racism. So then he leaves the store and
Is it really
disguises himself.
accusations if I was right?
No, you were
Oh,
very
wow.
right. So then he disguises himself as a human, and it works really, really well, and basically catches the storekeep being racist against gnomes and like rips it off and like rips this storekeep a new one. Once we have gotten the horses, it is discovered that Mary has a fear of horses because they don't have horses in the Underdark, and she believes that they are killers, that they are killing machines. So she agrees to ride with Atlas. While discussing the horses, Neve decides to have a conversation with the horses and finds out that their names are... If I can find our notes app. I have so many notes everywhere. Cheska, Toronto, Ambara, and Pokey. We discover Pokey is basically Asterion the horse. And so we set off on this journey. We camp for a little bit. We also find some goblins that warn us about a supposed werewolf, but we never return back to that. Anyway, we then decide to make camp. Noblin digs a hole.
I did dig a hole.
He did dig a hole.
Yeah, it was a trench. You're
Dodja,
right.
It was a trench. Dodja does a perimeter check. Averon asks if Mary's sensitivity to the light will get in the way of combat. She explains that it's more sight sensitivity than it is like a blindness sensitivity. She explains that she also does not fear the potential of coming into another fight with them, rather pities them for what is about to happen. Averon asks Noblin to tell him everything he knows about gnomish culture and if he can help with Averon's arrows. Mary and Dodja take the first watch. They don't say anything between the two of them. Atlas then gets up for watch, and he explains to Dodja that Atlas tells Dodja that he can't trust him. Atlas explains that if/when Atlas needs to be, quote, put down, Dodja be the one to do that, and Dodja explains that this isn't the first or the last time that he will have to put down a companion. Noblin fucks around, but does not find out about the horses.
Yeah, no, I'm having fun.
That's a sentence in my notebook. We continue on. As we continue, it begins to rain, and some of us get a point of exhaustion from being sick. So we travel for 4 more hours, it stops raining, and we make camp. And this is when Averon challenges Dodja to spar. And it actually is a fairly close fight. And in this fight, Averon asks Dodja why the fuck he won't sleep. Dodja explains that it's Dodja kind of explains that it's sort of his protectiveness and that he wants to be able to make sure that everyone is safe and fine. And both Mary and Averon, after the spar ends, express to Dodja that he should trust them and know that no matter what, when they are on watch, he is safe. Speaking of, Dodja sleeps for a little bit. During that watch, it is Liam, Atlas, and Mary. Liam and Mary have conversations about their upbringings, how Liam comes from a family of shoemakers, while Mary comes from a very different upbringing. She does not really talk a whole lot about it, but she does hint at her own excommunication, and learns that he has a brother. Neve then goes on watch with Noblin. Neve admits that the group were after betrayed her, and Noblin says that betrayal is not something that he takes lightly, and that we are with her, we as a party, which I loved that moment, but we'll come back to that. At this point, before we leave, Atlas apologizes to Mayri for taking off. Mayri does not know how to emotionally handle that. Then they come up with a plan. And here's the plan for those of you who do not remember. Dodja and Atlas will be disguised as Zenitrim, bringing in Mayri, who is a bounty that they have taken in. In order to make that look good, Dodja punches Mayri a bunch, and she is really weird about it. Neve will go in as a spider riding on Mayri's shoulder, and the three others, Averon, Noblin, and Liam, will go in using some form of invisibility or sneakingness and pass without trace. They're able to get through the guards pretty decently. And by this point, once they are within the Zenitrim hold, Noblin splits off and begins to find different ways to scare away or murder all of the Zenitrim above ground, including, but not limited to, making them believe that they are being infiltrated by the cult of Baal. And it actually works. And now from this point, because there are like a bunch of episodes, I'm just going to try and go chronologically based on like what happens with the characters. So Noblin is able to convince some of them that they are being infiltrated by a cult of Baal. He is also able to take out most, if not all, of the guards on the perimeter, including the ones that are alerted to him being like him killing some of the people. Not him, but being alerted to the fact that there are some dead bodies on the wall. He is also able to scale the wall and rid the upper part of the fortress out of whatever Zenitrim are still there. Meanwhile, down below, everybody but Noblin goes into kind of like the first main chamber. It is here that Averon, Liam, and Neve split from the party, and they try to follow a Zenitrim that has keys. This does not go well, as Averon gets his cloak stuck in a door. They do have to get into a little bit of a scuffle, and it ends with Liam putting two guys to sleep. Then, as they are trying to decide where to go, they are following a long corridor before Averon decides to go back for his cloak, and Liam goes with him because they want to go back to get the keys, leaving Neve alone to go back to continue and try to find the crystal, only for her to be face to face with somebody from her past. Neve is ultimately taken down and is sent to Garrus, I believe his name is, and is unfortunately tortured and has to wait for the party to come and get her. Meanwhile, Atlas, Dodja, and Mayri make their way through most of the Zenitrim holdout underground, discover that Garrus and Yennefer are there, but they are currently in a meeting, and Garrus and Yennefer are not in good mood, so the two guards that brought them down there decide to bring Dodja and Atlas and Mayri to the holding cell, where they discover a Quaggoth who is there. Dodja is not allowing Mayri to go, and so because of this, it causes combat, which ultimately ends in a 37-person combat. The Quaggoth is released, and he fights on our side, believing that he should follow under Mayri and take orders from Mayri arguing that she is not freeing him to be her slave, rather freeing him to be a companion and a compatriot, but is doing all of this on his own free will. The Quaggoth dies serving under Mayri. Mayri does not handle that well, and so after 10 rounds of using Twilight Sanctuary and Moonbeam, she goes down. At some point, Atlas goes down, but gets brought back up by Mayri. But at the end of the day, thanks to Liam and Averon coming back and Noblin coming down disguised as a grandmother, they are able to take out, I think it ended up being 30 Zenitrim individuals. Yay! It is then that it is discovered by Mayri, Dodja, and Atlas that Neve was left alone. Mayri has another temper tantrum. Dodja throws some shade at Averon for going back to get a cloak of all things.
It's a cape.
So Averon, it's a cape, excuse me. Noblin and Averon, because they have taken the least amount of damage, decide to go forward to discover what has happened with Neve. Liam stays behind in the holding cell just to sort of recuperate. It is then that Noblin and Averon discover that Neve is being tortured. Averon gets discovered, but Noblin does not, so he goes back to and Atlas and Mayri. We're almost there, I promise you guys. Averon tries to argue with Garrus for Neve's freedom. It is then that we come to the room where Garrus, his three-headed dog, two-headed, three-headed dogs are standing, and Neve. In this moment, things go crazy and all time freezes as Neve is kneeling next to a small boy. The boy is crying and is asking if there was anything that he could do, wishing that he could stop it, saying that he didn't like all this hurt. And so Neve reaches out and touches his hand and begins to feel an excruciating amount of pain, which then ricochets throughout the entire group. And Liam, still in the holding area, basically has seizures because of this energy. Then it appears that a massive earthquake occurs and all of us fall through it, Neve holding on to the shard in her hand. And we finally land, Mayri wiping her eyes, and is asked by Liam, I believe, where the fuck they all were. For Mayri to answer that they were in hell. So, that leaves us.
Let's go.
Thank
Good
Thank you.
Let's go.
That will probably be the only time I have to recap an entire season. So thank you for your.
It's a long season.
We have long seasons, but with that being said, I would like to open the floor to our cast, our crew, my friends, my party members. What are moments from this season that maybe I did touch on, maybe I didn't touch on? What are some, things that you had questions about, comments about, would like to give constructive criticisms about? Maybe tell the person that you hate them about. Who would like to kick us off? Because please make me stop talking, my lord.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we're done.
And that's the end of the episode.
Oh my god.
Fuck you.
Good episode, everyone.
All right.
Okay, good.
Yeah, good talk, good talk. Let's go grab a round of drinks. I'm kidding.
Oh,
Shut up.
100%.
So I think
All right.
the first thing is Averon's dream sequence. That thing is crazy. It's like, anyone have any idea what the fuck's going on there?
What? Like, that made me, the descriptions, the horror, it made me the most, that was the most uncomfortable thing to sit through for me, was all of that. I'm like, Jesus, okay.
I feel like both of the dreams, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I remember with Mary's dream, my jaw just started dropping as Dimitri's gruesomely describing our characters murdering each other in the most disgusting way.
Right.
I wonder if, I've been thinking this since Mary's dream happened. I wonder if they are in some way connected, or if both Averon and Mayri are being hunted by gods for similar reasons.
Very
That is
That's
a
an interesting
good
idea.
thought.
That's a good
That's a
idea.
clever
I
idea.
hadn't thought about this.
Everyone just
I
smoked a
would-
blunt and then had a bad dream. I don't know.
He was
what
just
you're
tweaking.
talking about.
It's just a bad trip,
Dreamed
man.
out, man.
I would say it might be a stretch to say they're, I don't know, maybe they are connected. But you'd have to come up with something elaborate for it to be the description of the dreams, chef's kiss.
Well, my thing
You were talking
too
about
is-
our DM.
Yeah, and my thing too is that, the dead three are connected. Not that Loth is a dead three, or that I'm saying that whatever's happening with Averon is a dead three, although I personally did get dead three vibes. Like the part where it's you're not his vessel yet, kinda, and sorry to spoil Baldur's Gate 3 for anybody if you haven't even played it yet.
What the
It was
fuck?
giving me
What? No,
I didn't even say anything yet.
No, it's still
It
in my
was
wish
giving me-
list.
It
It's still
was
in my
giving
wish
me-
list.
It was giving me I'm not actually gonna spoil anything. I'm just gonna say it was giving me Dark Urge vibes. It was giving me Dark Urge vibes.
Gotcha.
So that might just be me and the fact that we had so much so much talking of ball this season.
Yeah, we didn't make friends with any gods, did we?
No.
Mm,
No.
God of
Yeah, I
sauce,
think-
maybe.
God of Sauce
God of
might be our
Sauce.
friend.
God of- Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Elistray, kind of. Like, if it wasn't for her, I don't think we would have made it through that 37-man initiative.
Oh no, I would have died
Yeah.
after the first 5 hits.
All
or
of us
so.
would have been lynched. Like,
You're welcome.
immediately done. Well, maybe not. Okay. What's that word? We would have been murdered. Straight up.
Yeah.
It would have been a TPK.
Like,
probably.
more than likely.
We wouldn't even be recording this right now.
No.
No, it would be.
I feel like we should
cried.
explain the god of sauce, just for people who don't know.
Oh yeah, the sauce god. So you know that big voice in the sky whenever we're playing?
Insert
That.
picture
Yeah,
of
whenever
nature.
he
Whenever,
talks to
like-
the characters
Right.
directly, God,
Do I know this?
Yeah.
you're literally,
Dimitri's name in Discord is Sauce.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
This is
Connect
true.
the dots.
Honestly, I'm very it's a little off topic, not entirely off topic. I'm very interested to eventually find out who the hell is Noblin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
everyone else,
so-
don't get me wrong, but Noblin, you flip on a dime sometimes, and it just comes out of
Yeah.
nowhere. Like when we catch up to Atlas for whatever reason, who seems to be very haunted, from something. I'm curious to find that about.
You know
too. But, like,
that is a description.
but like the conversation when you get really real, it's so 180.
Mhm.
I believe there was also one
You know-
before that too, at the end of season 1, but.
Without spoiling
Yeah.
like any character growth or anything, what I will say is that Novlin has gone through a lot, and sometimes it's easier to live in fantasy than reality. Kind of like when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
What?
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
You
So
guys
he's a
just
D&D
I think
player?
what I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
it's just a
most
D&D player.
interested in seeing from Noblin is when he can no longer live in that fantasy because reality becomes so overwhelming.
It's gonna
I am
be a good challenge.
I'm interested to see it.
Especially considering where we are now.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I can't say for sure or anything, but I do think the tone change has happened in him. Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah,
didn't know
like
he
with,
cared this much.
with Averon and Atlas's little tiff before we ended up in the place we are now.
I fully expect season 3 to end or to begin in basically a really big group fight. But I actually have a question for Anna.
Yeah.
I want to know, because we touched on it briefly. You had said that like part of Neve hoped that we weren't coming for her, but like there was like an optimistic part of her. What was going through Neve's mind? If you're okay,
Yeah.
like elaborating.
Yeah. I mean, so I feel like for Neve throughout like the campaign so far, she's and again the campaign has like in worlds maybe a couple days, maybe a week at most. But she was coming from a very, very lonely place, and all of a sudden is thrusted into like being in this group with a lot of people, and her like feelings are very much fluctuating with them. But I feel like the willingness for all of them to like help her out in this because it's so important to her, and like be willing to go and get the crystal from these like scary ass guys who we don't think we can beat, meant a lot to her. And so in realizing that once again she's in this kind of situation, but now you guys are involved, she was trying to like get them off of your tail. Like I believe I said something like, I always work alone, something like that, because she didn't want to draw attention to you guys. She was hoping that you guys would just like get out okay, and like, you know, you did so much already, and like to see that you guys were risking your lives again, it's like, well shit, like what does that mean? I feel like for her it was like, what does all this mean? This is a lot. She's probably starting next season on the verge of a mental breakdown.
Poor baby.
Also,
I don't wanna-
you're the only one who knows kind of what happened to us.
Yeah.
About the time this
Yeah.
comes out, will?
Yeah.
Yes,
This is
Cool. So, So watch that before you watch this. I'm gonna say this now.
Right.
Stop here and go watch the episode.
Go back.
But
Go back. At least watch that one.
please, or at least find the time frame that I'm talking about. All right. No, I'm kidding. Please watch the full thing. But essentially, the big searing amount of pain all of us experienced. Only really Neve knows the catalyst of what caused it. Which is so interesting. And it's like, that's definitely something, at least I know Atlas will remember before falling. And then, in the place that we are in, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, essentially, literally, it's a matter of what is going to happen and how are things going to play out, and it's so excited. I'm so excited. I want to record. I really do. If we started
I'm
recording right now, I would
excited.
not complain.
For those of you unfamiliar, so like I said, we typically record 2 to 3 episodes every Wednesday. So like the episodes when they come out, we're recording the next, or not even the next one. Like sometimes it's like we're well ahead. And so what's exciting for me is that for us, it's been a hot minute since we've recorded because a couple of us had some stuff going on, and so. Before I ask my next question, I do want to say like really quickly, I'm so excited to record with you guys again. I've had like ideas as how I want to start the next season off in my head. I have so many character interactions planned. I really quickly before I ask my next question, I just wanted to say I always really love it when D&D characters say something and they do that exact thing later on, because again, like there are sometimes, a little bit between each episode we record. So like I said in the recap, Noblin quite literally said, "We will not betray you." And Noblin went and found Neve, saw that she was in duress, came and ran, "Fuck your break, we're going now." And Neve, Dodge, and Atlas, or I did it, damn it. Mary, Dodge, and Atlas
Flip it.
despite being like, we need to rest, we just had like the worst fucking combat ever, the second Noblin came running and was like, Neve needs help, let's go, they were like, yep, okay, we're going. Like, prayers be damned, short rest be damned, we're going. But speaking of conversations between two people and how they may or may not potentially play out later on in the series, I know that before this you were looking for something specific that you had said to Daja that I touched on in the recap.
I found it. And I found
Tell me
the
about it.
exact verbiage because it helps me remember, and I'm so happy. So essentially, it's after... It's not that Atlas ran away the first time, it's that he chose to stay behind to like look after basically to look after their back and to kind of like make a safe haven for when they came back. Atlas didn't expect other people to come and knock his ass out, let's be real. But the second time Atlas left was for his own reasons. Well, later on, campfire talk. Atlas and Daja take watch. Essentially, Atlas is like, I am not who I say I am, you are right not to trust me. And continues to go on I am asking you for a favor later on down the line. I am asking you that should the time come, I need you to either threaten my life or actually kill me, because I am not because of certain events that may become beyond my control, like get out of hand. And so I've essentially asked him, it's like, hey, if I ask, if I know this needs to happen, if I, essentially it's like, if I give you the order to go ahead and kill me, that's what I want. And I wanted, like, Daja to kill Atlas. I say it as if I'm the character. I'm not the character, I promise. But
Are you
we
sure?
are the character in our own little way, Like, I take pieces of myself into each of my characters, just... But
That's inevitable, really.
they're all my little babies. But yeah, I've essentially asked Daja for a favor, and whenever that comes into fruition, we'll see what happens.
I'm curious,
Without spoiling a lot of things with my backstory and everything.
yeah, I'm curious, like, what Dodja felt when like that information was kind of thrown at him.
Honestly, as I said during the episode, he's concerned. Yeah, honestly. But when a favor like that is asked of him, and if it does need to be done, he will do it, even if it does hurt. Just the type of person he is.
Say that. Don't say that. Ow.
Don't say that. I fully expect it. I'm excited. Oh, I say I'm excited. I'm excited for my character
I
to
can't
die.
really say too much. I mean, honestly, you know.
Such a brutal thing.
Speaking. Oh, sorry. Keep
No,
going.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Ignore me.
Yeah, as stated in that episode, it's not the first time, and it's also not the. You're also not the only person that's on that list. Yeah, we'll see what's to come of that.
That's some information I'm interested.
That was
Oh
said in the
no!
campaign already. So I didn't
Yo,
spoil
which
anything.
list? Which people? I'm concerned.
So long.
I know I'm
that,
on the list.
It's different when I say it in a recap versus the player saying it.
Yeah.
It hurts more when you say it, Ryan, than when I say it out loud.
Because it's scary.
It is. Well, and like, I don't know. To me, it's like, I feel like it always hits harder when a player does anything that alludes to their backstory that could potentially be painful. And like, you know, kind of like what Em said, like I put a little bit of myself into every single character that I make for D&D. And so I guess like the little part of Coda that's in Mayri is like, ow! But like without spoiling anything, like kind of gets it. Speaking of ow though, I have a theory I would like to discuss
Theory?
about our
Hypothesis?
favorite
Hands.
little halfling.
Oh.
Ooh.
We got two.
Spotlight suddenly goes to my character.
We just get the spotlight. It's like, oh.
Our favorite little insert race here that is copyrighted.
Very
So-
specific copy.
Well, I mean, they didn't call it that in the handbook, so I assumed it was to avoid.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Maybe.
I have a theory about Liam. That either Liam doesn't truly know what or who he is, because we have had him had like lightning spark out of his fingertips, which I did miss out in the recap. And then when the whole thing with the crystal happened, all of us were in pain, but like Liam was like having full-blown seizures
pain
and then
first,
was like
yeah.
perfectly fine. So
Fucking
I
gargoyle
have a
thing when you took
theory.
The energy
Doesn't
out of it?
mean- Yeah. Well, and like that whole situation too. And like, I mean, obviously, you know, there are like types of sorcerers and I'm sure like warlocks who could probably do that kind of thing. But like the specificity of the seizure and the lightning at his fingertips, I'm wondering if either A, Liam does not know who or what he is, or B, he is hiding a lot more than he is hinting at to us, and that he is in some way, shape, or form connected to sort of like the different planes.
I want to say something.
I
key
love
here.
those ideas.
I want to say something key here. The way so Shane and I are related, obviously, but
What?
yeah, oh wow,
That is brand new.
No way.
It's nine.
Two
Wow.
brothers. You would never know. No,
Um,
I don't need to lie to people.
So I've role played with Shane a lot. He and I both like to do this. We both really try to choose our words carefully when we speak, and everybody does that. You too.
Yeah.
It could just be because I am used to role playing with Shane. I have a theory, but I don't want to spoil anything because I'm not too even sure if it's true. But I have a theory on some of his motivations, something of his character. Just not
okay.
character, but you know, character as in the character of a person.
Yeah.
But
Well, especially with like
but if you listen
how
real
much-
carefully, you kind of get it if you listen to his sentences.
Mhm.
Well, especially with like how much Liam was like pushing for them to go after his quest versus doing this quest. Part of
Yeah.
me, Mary, not at all concerned, purely because like I think I said this in a when Mary was yelling at Atlas, she made a contract with Liam. So she is contractually, I mean, she never like signed anything, but she
Yeah.
made a verbal contract to Liam, so she is contractually obligated in her mind to ensure that Liam is not harmed or injured or killed on this quest. Or at least like in her mind, that is the contract that she's on. And so if this turns into, and again, like this is just me speculating, if this turns into Liam potentially making a shift or dropping a mask that he metaphorically is wearing, unfortunately, Mary will follow behind him because she made this contract, like this verbal contract with him. And so I'm interested to see how Liam responds to us being in hell and what that means for Liam's motivation. I'm also excited for just like all of us who use magic in any sense, how the fuck being in hell affects us.
Who needs
I'm
magic?
interested to see how Averon
Magic.
and well, you've got Averon who is all nature baby. I'm interested to
Oh,
see
yeah.
how poorly he does. You've got Neve whose magic is connected to nature. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to connect to Elistray like at all in the hells. And then
I
you
wonder
know
how-
you have Liam who like
We have a bard.
Is pulling from something.
right. Or is Atlas's magic gonna be
Where-
affected by us in being in hell?
Honestly,
I don't think
it's
so,
a
'cause it's
good question.
arcane.
Well,
Unless it's like cut off from
It's
that, but that'd be
keep in
weird.
mind it's
don't think
arcane,
it is.
but for
Yeah.
I don't know if I should I.
Don't spoil
I want you
anything.
to do more D100 rolls. They're my favorites.
Yeah.
I need more
it's
even in odds.
I have like a specific
Yeah.
college from a specific.
I like my
well,
odds.
I don't wanna like spoil too much, given my character because I haven't gone into specifics about my character's magic.
Yeah.
So it's like, but for anyone who could like figure it out, which I'm sure there are people who are literal FBI agents, could probably figure out which college I'm from.
I want to. I want to real quick before we start to wrap up. I want to go around and I want to see what predictions you guys have for season 2.
3.
It can be for your character. It can be for somebody else's character. It can be the story in general. I want to start with Matt.
All right, so I'm going to give you a little teaser on Goblin's mind, right? So what he is thinking is that he has no idea what the fuck is going on.
Iconic.
And that's it. That's really all that's in Noblin's mind. He's a very simple man. He doesn't think too much. He sure as hell don't do anything too much, you know? He's a simple guy. With that being said, he has gone through a lot of loss. And he's okay with loss. He sees it as more natural than companions in a way. So if it ever does come down to it, he has no direct loyalty to anyone in the group. He has, in fact, to phrase that better, he has the same amount of disloyalty to everyone in the group, and the same amount of untrustworthiness.
Interesting.
He'll kill and die for them, but if it comes down to kill or die, he will kill. I hope that makes sense.
No,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Damn.
Would anyone
Yes.
like to go next, or should I just continue to torture you all and call on you?
Torture.
Deutsche.
Torture.
And Derek.
Repeat the question for the audience one more time.
For the audience.
So for the audience,
Right.
I was going
That large grin as I saw him like rise from whatever he was doing.
Artsy things.
What what prediction do you have for season 3? And it can be for your character. Oh, we're getting like real close and personal with Derek. I don't even know if y'all are gonna be able to see our video, but we're like, what predictions do you have for either your character or for like the plot or for somebody else's character as a whole going into season 3?
Since that was for the audience, I'll clearly state my answer.
Yeah.
I had two thoughts previously that have now just come into my mind. One is for the plot. I'm getting a sneaking suspicion we won't stay where we are for long. Maybe, you know what? In fact, I would argue that maybe even the season finale could be a change, another change. But I don't know. I don't think this would be the total campaign length. So I'm wondering, my prediction is, and the fun of that would be like, I want to know how we get out. And if we get out, are we drastically different? Like, like if we go back, if we don't go like, I have tons of character theories, and I'm just like, I have no idea what happens if we don't go back to the same place. And then for prediction for Averon specifically, he's not going to be happy camper. I'm not going to be happy camper at all, but for reasons that are not there yet. But he won't be happy.
Anna, what predictions or hypotheses do you have for either your character, a different character, the plot as a whole?
I feel like because Neve's magic is nature, I feel like any like nature-related magic may be corrupted in some sorts. I have a feeling like I don't know how, but I feel like that could be interesting. I just had a feeling. I also for some reason feel like the hell thing is not gonna be forever, but I wonder like what are, because I think Demetrius stated like, what's our goal, like get out of hell, something like that, and I'm wondering like who we are going to have to run into, and like are we gonna be fighting like the big bads, like oh shit, like lords of hell. I'm like,
but we're level 3.
But we're
level 3.
We're level 3.
Level 4. We leveled
level
up.
4 now.
We're fucked.
Still, we're fucked.
We're luckily leveled up.
Maybe we can all like come together like a Megazord from Power Rangers.
Oh my god.
Like 7
Yes.
level
Yeah.
4s, and then we're a level 28.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Like a
shit.
gun.
Ooh.
We're gonna digivolve like a Digimon.
Okay, so someone has to be the head. We have 2 people on the arms, 2 people on the legs, so like 2 people are the torso?
Noblin is the head.
Torso himself.
I don't think Noblin should be the head.
Noblin
Anyway,
is
go
for
ahead.
sure the head.
Dodge is
What are
gonna
you
be the
talking
torso.
about?
At least one part of the torso.
Wait, last
Or
prediction.
no,
before
he
we
should
move
be an
on.
arm.
Yes, what's your last prediction?
I have a feeling we haven't seen the end of Yennevar. I don't know how, like, who's fallen through, what that looks like in Faerun. I feel like it's still gonna something. I don't know.
We also don't know if Garrus or the other Xenotrim fell through with us.
Garrus did, and he got stomped by a dragon.
No, he did. Yeah,
That's
he
right.
was stomped
That's
on.
right. I know everything but that happened in this episode. So
He just got
yeah,
Like a
that's
Starburst.
all of the
baby
other
crushed.
Zentrim. Like Garrus, the Zentrim, I think his 2 dogs, like
sad.
I think.
The
I don't know if it
puppies.
was the dogs.
Some stuff
I
got
don't know if the
stomped. Some
dogs
people
escaped.
got stomped on, and
Maybe the
No,
dogs
they
ran
were
away.
fine.
Maybe they found a new owner. I don't know.
I hope it was semi-peaceful for them. What are
Yeah.
your predictions
I
for season 3? I don't.
My prediction for season 3, there's definitely going to be a large conflict. I expect it. I do not expect things to come together peacefully or like nicely. It's going to get tense. It is going to become like maybe bloody, maybe not. We'll see. But there's definitely going to be conflict. I'm stating that now.
For the group or for in general?
In general. For the group, but like in general. Yeah. My other prediction, for some characters, it's possible they might be changed for the better and a lot more traumatized, or for the worse and is still a lot more traumatized. So some people could change good in their personality that could benefit the party. Some people could turn worse. I don't know. My prediction for Atlas would be worse if things play out specific. Like, it's all purely situational.
Ryan, what are your predictions?
Honestly, I expect us to have to. I think it'd be cool to have some. I theorize that we may have to encounter some personal demons, whether that be through fights or dialogue, just as manifestations. Manifestations. Words are hard.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, I expect some sort of trial, maybe. But well, I don't know. It's an interesting place. Anything can happen. I mean, in terms of Dodge's mind state at the moment, just a whole thing. Top priorities are how is he gonna get this family back, and how is he gonna get to his family?
You're gonna make Coda cry?
Stop it! All of you have almost come close to making me cry. Shane, what are your
Hello.
predictions?
Predictions. Oh dang. Well, we're in hell, so not a lot good could probably happen then. I'm assuming it's gonna be like Episode 5 Star Wars. It's gonna be.
Spoilers for episode 5. Empire
You had
Strikes
me
Back.
at Star Wars.
Been out for years and years.
There's gonna be a lot bad happening before the good. That's kind of the thinking process. Season 2 had a really cool thing where Neve we're kind of going a little bit down Neve's path with her quest. So I feel like Dimitri's gonna try and figure out whose quest we're going to focus on, and he's going to really point us in a direction of who is going to be like the focus character for the next season, even past this season, because the first season kind of set up for Neve's stuff. So that's what I can assume. I like Ryan's idea with the trials. I think Dimitri's definitely going to try something, and depending on the stuff he brings up for Liam, it'd be a very interesting season, that's for sure. I know that if at least the start of this season will be very like interpersonal conflict, but it might turn to external as we go on, and heck, depending on how bad the internal conflict goes, we may not even have a group, but we might still like stay together to get out of hell, sort of thing. But I don't even know. Really depends on how it goes.
I have a couple. My first one I've already kind of talked about. I do personally believe that, like, basically in my head, the way that I see season 3 opening is, and like, if this ends up being like spoilers for like my own personal plans for how I would like to start season 3, I'm fine with that. But personally, I believe that Mayri will immediately go check on Neve, and then shit hits the fan immediately. I believe that almost once everyone kind of gets their footing, they understand that they're alive, I believe that that is when arguments will start to break out. I personally believe, or even if it's not in that moment, I do believe at some point when there's downtime, there will be a massive argument, and I personally believe, this is my prediction, that Noblin will be the one to stop the fighting. I think it will end up being Noblin who stops the infighting, or at least that argument for that time. My personal prediction for Mayri is that we may see a different side of her. That is not the version of her that she's trying to be with the group. I think There are quite a few steps back for her. I also personally think that we will delve deeper into Liam's connection to kind of go off of Shane's. I think that we will be leaning heavily into Liam and his connection with the planes. I think that is probably where the season is going to go.
That'd be very interesting. I'd be very, very interested. I will say I did. Actually, I won't say that because that'd be kind of that'd be too much of a hint. I'm not gonna say that.
Shane is a really good consultant.
Fucking Jesus!
I will say, for our audience at home, when we were leveling up our characters after last episode, Dimitri said to all of us, make sure you know what your alignments are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And just to update, just in case, I did change from chaotic neutral to chaotic evil during this whole little ball bit.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
No, that was established I think before the season ended.
Yeah. As long as it was in episode. If not, then we'll.
I mean, it's an episode.
Yeah.
It's like I want to talk about it, but then I'm like, I don't know what things are spoilers and what are not, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Everything that we've
well,
recorded
before,
already is not spoiled.
yeah.
Okay.
Everything, yeah, because this is, we're recording this before we record, the season 3
Well, I don't
opener.
know how much background information was stated because I know Dimitri and Matt had a conversation about alignments. I don't know if it was during the episode or not, but where Matt had originally wanted his character to be this alignment, and he wasn't sure if it was okay.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts, comments, concerns, complaints, constructive criticisms, passive aggressions?
Yeah, so I got a little something. So that way Matt doesn't sound like he doesn't care. Matt has theories. Noblin does not.
Yeah.
I wanted that to be very clear. I realized I didn't say that earlier. I didn't give any of my theories about it, and a lot of it is the same. It's the internal conflicts. I think that a lot of the pains and traumas and tragedies of our backstories is what's going to pop up now. I think that's what we're going to experience a lot of in Hell is mental anguish, and then physical, of course, because it's hot. But
We're emotional.
yeah,
Could be all
emotional.
three. Could be a
This is
triple
hot.
whammy.
Not discussed.
That needs to be a sticker on our store.
Oh, I
Physical
realized what I
anguish is
said.
hot.
Not like that.
Wait, what? I might have missed it. This happens
BDSM
a lot.
joke.
Oh,
I still think
gotcha.
we need it in the store.
Sure.
If anyone
only if
is
this
wanting
episode
to
is.
talk to Liam, get more talking points, all the items I describe for Liam is something connected to his background. Just so you know,
oh, good.
every single
lord.
piece of item I have described is directly connected to his background.
Okay, time to go back through both seasons
I do think.
and see, write stuff down.
Before we end this, the DM's not here.
Alright.
It could be cool.
I'll end it. Well, thank y'all so much for listening. Oh, wait, hang on. Ryan has something.
I
There's
think
more.
it could be cool
There's more.
Whoa.
for us to just give a good old shout out to Dimitri because he's done a fantastic job.
Yes. We love you, Dimitri. This would not be possible if it weren't for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
so
it.
We're in
glad
hell
you
because of you.
compiled us all. Literally.
Oh.
Dimitri.
Oh. I
We're
see
so
what you were
glad you
trying to
compiled
say.
us all together.
Also, we have merch. Merch that we mentioned in last episode, but guess what? New merch dropping today. Pictures. If I'm in,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
this
they're probably
Whoever's
over
in
now.
charge. Hand
Pictures.
signals.
Yeah, you have to
At
go
that
take a
point-
look. You gotta go take a
Go
look.
to our Instagram because by this point the grid will be aligned.
Yeah, you may have noticed somewhere here some new character art is also up here. Oh my god! Oh, look at that! Look, Atlas, Daja, Neve.
Look to the right.
Aberon.
Yeah, there you
Maybe.
go. Not the left. Yeah.
Oh.
there you
Liam,
I'm
Take
not
it back
editing
now,
this.
y'all.
hate myself. Yeah.
Good, keep this in.
No.
But yeah, and they have merch as well. So Go
Buy
look
my
at our
merch,
merch.
motherfuckers.
Link is gonna be here too, so please, we love you. Just look at it. Look and see if you like it, and if you like it, then you can like get something.
There is another
You know.
topic we forgot to mention. I'm so sorry. Forgot to mention.
Oh, what?
Oh.
It's Anna's birthday, everybody.
Oh, it is my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy
I know I
birthday.
already gave you like an
Not
early
when this
birthday.
airs.
Congrats,
It will
but,
be
like,
past Anna's birthday
Yeah.
when this airs.
yes.
Don't
September
count
20.
it.
Damn.
I don't
I
care.
really,
They need to
Cool
know
birthday.
so that way they can all wish her a late birthday.
This is very
Yeah.
true.
a happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
No one is gonna wish
Should we-
me a
should
happy
we all
birthday
sing
because
it in
I'm not
character?
telling you.
Yes.
Let's all sing in character. All right, here we go, everybody.
I have to
Noblin, the
get into the
performer.
voice.
He's doing it. Everyone, warm up.
Wait, let me get my cloak.
Yeah,
Oh my
get your
God.
cloak. Get your cloak. Don't worry, I'm just gonna give a.
please,
Forward.
please send me patience for this. I don't think I have the patience
my
for
goodness.
this.
Averon.
All right.
Everyone,
Alright,
you
here we
don't
go.
need your cloak.
Why?
Everyone,
Avalon.
everyone, I think you need
Avalon.
the
Please
cloak.
just
buddy.
come back.
It's a fucking
Don't
cape.
encourage him.
Oh
I
my
need
god,
one.
he's got it.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
he's got the
Dodger,
He's
for
got it.
understanding
Alright,
he's
got
my
it.
thought
Here we go.
process
Ready,
on this.
everyone? A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a huh. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Anna.
Anna.
Happy
birthday
birthday to you.
Forevermore.
I'm not doing
just,
that again.
just like
Don't quit your
yeah,
day
we
job.
don't really celebrate aliving days in the Underdark, so I didn't know half the words. I'm sorry.
Once again,
Birthdays.
just study
I don't
the
really wanna
culture of the
celebrate
places you
that.
visit.
I just normally go out on
My-
I don't really have birthdays anymore. I used to.
Oh yeah, I always forget this. You know how many? Oh my god! I want to let you all know you're invited to my birthday party. I just want to let you guys know.
Nice.
Thanks, I guess.
Do we have to go to Gnomeville?
Oh, we are absolutely going.
We are going to Number.
Gnome
We are
Town,
going to
USA?
meet all of the Nottinghams.
Are we going
yes.
to go to Walmart?
No, we're gonna go to.
No, Mart.
Right?
Right?
No Mart. Yeah, no
Yeah, but I
Mart.
thought that was what it was.
So
All
good.
right, well, thank you all so much for listening to whatever the hell this is, if it does end up airing. We love you all very much, and we will see you in season 3 of Dice Rolls Can Kill. Say goodbye, everybody!
Goodbye,
Bye,
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See you,
Like I
lovelies.
knew you were going to do that.
I'm gonna take a long rest now.
Yeah, take a long rest, take a short rest, however much you need.